Hey, Jaden. I thought I'd message you to make sure you're okay. I'm really sorry about my father. He can be a bit much sometimes.
Hi, Chloe. There's no need for you to apologize, sweet lady. How he acted doesn't matter too much. I'm sure Robert was just acting that way out of concern for you since you're his daughter. He's probably feeling a bit off that we'll be getting married soon. I'm not overthinking too much about it, to be honest. I'm not gonna let him get to me too much.
Wow, Jaden, you're so kind to brush it off like that, but still, I think he went a little bit too far with what he said. I was honestly shocked at his attitude towards you as well. He was so cruel and just plain rude to you. It's not good enough. I know that he's my father and everything, but I've been doubting his humanity. It seems like he's got no empathy or kindness for anyone, really. I told him so many times that you weren't a high school dropout. I don't know how many times I have to explain it to him to make him understand.
That's what I thought when you were trying to talk to him about it. Oh well, there's not much we can do about it if he chooses not to understand. Getting married to you isn't going to change his attitude about me, so I guess I'll just have to be patient with him and explain things to him slowly. Otherwise, there's not much else I can do to improve the relationship between your father and I.
Even though he's my father, Jaden, over the years, I've started to hate him more and more, especially with the way he treats other people. My mom's also worried about the whole situation with him. She thinks that he's changed a lot over the years as well.
Oh, really? Is your mom having problems with him too? What happened exactly?
I'm sorry, Jaden. I shouldn't bring up really heavy and depressing conversations just before we get married. It's not fair on you or your mental well-being.
Even if it's a tough conversation for you to have, it's okay. We can handle things together. I've already registered our wedding at the courthouse. The wedding ceremony will be held next week as we planned. We're going to be a family, Chloe. You can talk to me about anything on your mind.
Really? Are you sure you don't mind? Then maybe us three can meet up soon and talk about what's going on.
Of course. That's not a problem at all. You can always count on me for support, Chloe. Just wanted to let you know that.
I had absolutely no clue that my daughter's fiancé was some high school dropout. This is unbelievable. You know, actually, I feel bad for not letting out my feelings about this sooner. I suppose it's a bit last minute, but who cares? Were you trying to hide the fact that you were a high school dropout or something? Did you not think I'd ever find out?
Oh, Robert. Hello there. Thank you again for meeting up with us today. And what do you mean hide it? That wasn't my intention at all. I'm usually pretty open and honest about my life, but I also think that you've misunderstood me. I don't know what made you think I was a high school dropout, Robert.
Is it because we're wealthy that you approached my daughter and wanted to date her and eventually get married? You need to be honest now. Admit it. You need to give up marrying Chloe if this is your intention.
Robert, there's definitely a misunderstanding here. Chloe and I are in love with each other. I love her with all my heart, and I've never had any woman like her.
I don't remember allowing you to call me by my first name. Don't call me that. You call me Mr. Harrison.
Oh, right. Yes, sir. Mr. Harrison, sir. Please excuse me for being so rude. I just thought I was allowed to call you that because you introduced yourself as Robert. But I don't think I've got nothing to admit to at this time, though. Nothing's going to change the fact that we're getting married really soon. The wedding ceremony will be held next week. It's come around really fast. I think Chloe would be really happy if you acknowledged that she's found a man she's in love with.
I guess it might be difficult to cancel the ceremony, since this has all progressed so quickly. Even so, I'll never recognize you as being a part of this family. I can't believe my daughter's marrying a lowlife piece of trash like you, who dropped out of school. That Chloe did everything but listen to what I said to her. She's so disobedient. For now, I can't stop this before it happens. So I'll let the plans go ahead, and I hope that you get divorced as soon as your marriage has been finalized. Then I can work at splitting you both up.
Do you think you're going overboard with this, Mr. Harrison? We love each other so much. Even if you don't give us your blessing, you shouldn't wish a divorce upon your own daughter and her husband. It's not right, sir.
There's no reason for you to talk back to me. You'll not be dictating to me what happens with this marriage. It shouldn't even be going ahead. Chloe really needs to wake up and smell the flowers. She's blinded by the rose-tinted glasses that you put on her. Mark my words, I'll rip off that terrible disguise you've been wearing in front of my daughter.
But I've not been wearing any disguise. I'm just trying to be who I am, and I'm being honest to you and your daughter, sir. Anyways, the wedding's coming up very soon, Mr. Harrison. I'm going to be marrying your beautiful daughter soon. If it's possible, I would like to build and maintain a good relationship with you for the future. I want us to get along, sir. For your daughter's sake, at least. Thank you for your understanding. I've got some work to do at the moment, so if you'll excuse me, I'll stop talking now.
Wow, I never thought this day would come. That I see my daughter walk down the aisle. I still don't approve of her marriage to you, though. I already know that it's not going to end well, Jaden.
Well, the marriage has already been finalized, sir. We're officially family now by marriage. Will you just accept the reality that we are?
A high school dropout isn't a suitable match for my daughter. And you know that. Why are you wasting our time and money?
Sir, I know you're just looking down on me like you're all high and mighty, but it's not true. I don't know how many times I have to repeat myself about this.
And do you know that she's my daughter? The daughter of the president to one of the most successful trading companies in the country? I never thought that my daughter would be so blind as to fall for someone who didn't graduate from high school and is just being a big gold digger.
I've also told you this a bunch of times, sir. I'm not marrying Chloe for the money. That's not my intention at all.
Well, if you say so, Jaden. Okay, you're going to do a speech in Chinese for us.
Wait, what? I'm sorry, but what are you talking about, sir? What speech are you referring to?
Actually, I'm not going to force you to do anything. But if you think about it, isn't it the right thing to do as a father-in-law says, since you're the groom? After all, you're the one marrying the president's daughter. The next person who'll take over the company when I retire. Since some of the directors in the company are originally from China, how about you greet them in Chinese? You do know Chinese, right? It's important for everyone in the company to know a few business phrases. And, of course, our company has gone global recently. A lot of our work partners are Chinese, so they do a lot of business talk in their native language. What do you think? Will you do it? Or is it impossible for you, Jaden? If you feel that way, maybe you should get out of this marriage while you still can, huh?
Well, sir, I never said it was impossible, but you kind of sprang this on me, which puts me under a bit of pressure.
Wow, but you're still being open to the idea. Many of my executives and friends are foreigners. They're some of the elite professionals in the business. Since you're not a shy person, I'm sure you'll have no problems with being able to speak to them in Chinese, maybe? It'll probably end up being embarrassing for you. So maybe it's better to not get married now and avoid all the hassle.
Well, I think we've allotted time to have some speeches done during the ceremony. I guess I could squeeze it in somewhere.
Of course, let's give you a chance to say something. For the sake of my friends, I'll ask you to say the final remarks at the end of the ceremony. In Chinese, alright? Wow, since you're only a high school dropout with hardly an education, I'm sure you'll find it impossible to do.
No, sir. I think I'll be perfectly fine in doing this. Please let me greet your executives.
Wow, I can't believe this. You're definitely going to get embarrassed and screw up everything. I just know it.
Okay, if you think so, Mr. Harrison. But I'm sure everything will work out just fine.
The ceremony's about to start shortly, so there's not much time for you to prepare yourself. At least, just panic a little and break out into a sweat, so I can have something to laugh about later.
I don't think I'll get embarrassed, sir, since I don't mind talking in front of a lot of people. I'll do my best with giving my speech.
Okay, if you say so. Just don't embarrass me as well. It really would be a shame to let my daughter marry an incompetent high school dropout.
No, it'll be okay, sir. Please don't panic over this. I've got it all covered. I think you think I'm going to embarrass you. In fact, Mr. Harrison, is it true that you don't understand a word of Chinese at all?
Excuse me? What on earth are you insinuating here, boy?
Well, you're probably going to wonder what I'm going to say in the speech, right? I'm sure you'll be able to understand every single word, sir.
Well, if your Chinese is good, I'm sure I'll be able to understand everything you say. Don't you dare think about provoking me right before you marry my daughter.
I'm sorry that you think that I'm doing that, sir. Please enjoy the wedding ceremony. I know I'm going to. I can't wait to see my future wife at the altar.
Hey, what the heck's going on here? What's the meaning of this charade? How is it that you can speak Chinese of all languages? And you can actually speak it really quickly? How is that possible?
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. Didn't I tell you that I can speak Chinese? It's actually called Mandarin, by the way. After I graduated from high school, I went to China and, well, you know when you're in the country long enough.
Now hold on just a minute there. What? You're telling me that you can speak this Mandarin fluently?
I spent the last years of my teenage life in China. Don't you think it's natural to learn another language since you're living in their society? You kept going on and on that I was a high school dropout, but Chloe only said that I spent up until high school in the States.
Wait, so you're really not a high school dropout at all? Are you serious, Jaden?
Even though I corrected you so many times, Mr. Harrison, you just didn't want to listen to what I had to say. I couldn't make any detailed corrections either.
So you live there for a bit, so that's why you're able to speak their language. Wow, I can't believe how petty you're being about this. Why must you act so strangely around me? I've done nothing to make you act this way.
Well, I don't get your attitude towards me. Why are you being like this? Why did you have to doubt my abilities so much when you know nothing about me?
That doesn't matter now. After your speech, the executives left without even talking to me. Don't you think that's a bit odd of them to do that right in the middle of a wedding? I feel like your attitude completely changed after you did your speech in front of everyone.
Oh, okay. Is that what you're wanting to know about? As I thought, of course, you didn't understand what was going on in there.
Wait, what? What are you talking about? What way that I treat people? What did you say to them?
It means you couldn't understand a word I was saying at all. I know you could speak, let alone understand a word of Mandarin at all. Can you? I should have expected it, though, since you decided to throw a curveball at me right before the ceremony.
How dare you be so rude to me, you little swine! That's not how a boy should talk to his father-in-law. Of course I know how to speak a bit of Chinese. I need it for work. So yes, I know how to communicate in it. But even though you were speaking that fast, I'd hardly understand if you spoke that fast in English as well. It's bad to talk so fast when people are trying to listen.
Oh, really? Is that so, Robert? I'm sorry for speaking so fast that you couldn't understand me. I guess it would be better to lower my speaking to a beginner's level.
Why are you acting like this towards me? You've got no right to talk to me like that. Are you trying to pick a fight with me?
That's not my intention at all, Mr. Harrison. You should know that. By the way, I think all the Mandarin speakers at the venue understood what I said. I think my speech was a pretty good level of speed. You really didn't understand me, did you, Robert?
I don't give a crap anymore about the speed anymore. Just tell me what you said, please. Why did my executives behave like they did?
I just revealed your misdeeds to them in Mandarin, that's all. If you learned the language, you'd know what I said, Robert.
Wait, what? What misdeeds are you talking about? I've not done anything wrong to them, or any other employee for that matter.
Of all the people that were in that room, you know yourself best, right, Robert? Even though you pretended to know Mandarin, you just went about your business. You approved important meetings without understanding the context of those meetings. You actually used that to your advantage so that you could get more money out of them. Did you really think that I wouldn't find out about your dishonesty, Robert?
What on earth are you talking about? How dare you accuse me of such things? How on earth would you have found out about this anyway? I haven't done any of those things that you said. As someone who doesn't work for my company, how did you find out about these rumors?
Well, to be honest with you, Robert, I'm not actually an outsider. Give me some credit for knowing a lot about your company.
What the heck's that supposed to mean? What are you trying to say, Jaden? You're making no sense to me at all.
Maybe it's because you're not listening to me. The vice president, who's my new mother-in-law's brother, hired me to work at the company.
Wait a minute. What? You're seriously not found a job, have you? You're not actually working at my company, are you?
Oh, but yes I do. If I'm married to Chloe, I might take over the company someday in the future. I thought it would be better to start working at the company as soon as I possibly could, so I can get a good feel for it.
Are you kidding me? You actually started working at my company? How did I not hear anything about this? This is absurd.
If I told you that I wanted to work at the company, you'd get annoyed, and it would be a troublesome task anyway. The vice president prepared me for the job and processed my application and resume. It went pretty smooth, actually. Thanks to you, I was able to understand more of your attitude and the actions you take at work. I understand that you're not a good fit for a president's position.
Hey, you can't just turn around and say something like that to someone in a higher position. You've got some nerve, haven't you?
Well, all this is what I said in my speech earlier, Robert. You just don't get it, do you?
What? What are you talking about? Are you going to tell me what you said in your speech or what?
I told the executives in Mandarin how incompetent my future father-in-law is as president of the company. That's why they reacted the way they did. It's possible that they've gotten angry with how you handled their interactions, and you could be fired from your precious presidential position.
Do you seriously think that they're going to dismiss me, the president of the company? They've got no right to do that. I'm the president. End of story. I'm the one who has all the decision-making power. They can't possibly throw me out of my chair.
You're sounding like a dictator, Robert, and the executives don't like that. The way you've treated them is going to be the result of your dismissal. Besides, it was originally my mother-in-law's father's company. You only inherited it because you're her husband. You do know that the vice president of the company was originally supposed to take over the business, right?
Well, that position fell to me because I was more capable of being the leader of the company. The face of the company. Why are you going about messing things up now?
Okay. I don't know what happened during that time, but if the board of directors were to have a meeting right now, no one would be siding with you, Robert. I think everyone would follow the vice president and vote for him to be the new face of the company.
What the heck? Do you really think that it's okay to do that to my own company? Did you seriously want to degrade your new father-in-law that much, Jaden? Do you think Chloe is going to be happy that you've done that to her own father?
Well, she might not be too happy about it, but she understands that this might have happened during the ceremony.
Huh? What are you talking about? You didn't tell my daughter that you were going to do this, did you?
I already told her in advance that this might come up if you made me do something that I wasn't fully comfortable with. I knew I had to talk about this kind of thing, so people knew what you were truly like at work, and to the people around you. It wasn't a decision that I made on my own, Robert. After a careful discussion that Chloe, her mother, and I had, we decided to say something.
You talked to my wife about this? Why is my wife involved in this? Why did you drag her into it? Don't you know that she's my ally and that she'll stick by me?
I'm sorry, but it sounds like your wife has given up on you, Robert. That's why Chloe, and now my mother-in-law, are on my side about this.
Is this seriously happening to me right now? How could you all stab me in the back like that? My own family! I've done nothing to any of you!
Well, I guess the girls decided that they wanted to dethrone you. They were getting sick of the way you've been treating people. Have you ever tried to take care of your family, Robert? Mentally and emotionally? It seems like all you care about is yourself.
What the heck are you trying to say here, Jaden? Go on, say it.
You say they're your family when you talk about them to other people, but do you really care for them? Do you look after their needs? Do you support them financially that much? Or do you just give all that money you earn to your secretary, Robert? You're not giving her the company's money, are you?
I haven't got a clue what you're talking about, Jaden. Who is this secretary you speak about anyways?
Up until very recently, your wife has been investigating what you've really been doing whilst you've been at work. She's already got all the evidence she needs. It seems like she was holding off until the wedding was over, though. But it seems like she's hit her limit.
What do you mean she's hit her limit? What's that supposed to mean? Why would my own wife investigate my whereabouts? Why would she invade my privacy like that?
Maybe it was because you were acting super suspicious towards her at home. Think about it, Robert. Don't you think it's safe to assume that she's known about your affair for a good amount of time now? I'm sure your wife has been in so much pain because you've been betraying her for such a long time. I'll never be like you. I'd never do that to my wife.
Why would you say something that you know nothing about? What I do is none of your business, Jaden. Don't you know how much money I've made as a company president? A lot, and it's great! What's so wrong with using your own company's money for yourself?
The company's money belongs to the hardworking people and the company itself, not you. I'm surprised you don't understand something so basic as that, Robert. It was only through your marriage that you were able to get the job anyways. Now you've gone and turned on everyone in the company, and you've made everyone your enemy. That's not how a president should be. There's no way that you're getting out of this one without losing everything you've got.
Ugh, why did something like this have to happen at my daughter's wedding? All I wanted was to embarrass you.
In the end, you were the one that got embarrassed because you didn't understand a word I said. As a result, you've been made to resign from your position. Don't you think this is such an ironic story, Robert? It could be made into a movie script, to be honest.
I'm not resigning. No matter how loud the vice president is, I still hold all the authority in the company. There are definitely still employees in the company that are on my side.
Really? You're not talking about your secretary, are you, Robert?
Well, yes, her. But I've also got other people on my side too.
I'm going to tell you something. I just received a call from the vice president. I think everyone in your sector has accused you of some wrongdoings. That can't be, can it? It seems like they're going to make you retire from the position.
Wait, what? What are you saying? How could they make me retire if I don't want to leave?
Oh dear, Robert. I'm sure you thought of people as pawns, and you were moving them around as you wanted. You know the other employees have feelings too, you know. There are some people who aren't satisfied with the methods you've used to run things. Do you finally understand what I'm saying now? You're done. Absolutely finished, Robert.
You're kidding me, right? You're lying to me, aren't you? What's going to happen to Kelsey?
Who's Kelsey? Is this your secretary you're talking about? It seems like she was trying to protect herself first, and accused you of the bad things you've done.
Wait, what? No, she wouldn't do this to me. She wouldn't leave my side like this. What's going on here?
Unfortunately, it sounds like you're not going to be able to avoid paying compensation though. But it sounds like your wife has agreed to reduce the amount that you need to pay dramatically, so that should be a relief for you, yeah?
What the heck? She can't just do that without discussing things with me first. This is all your fault. My family's in shambles because of you, boy.
It's not my fault at all, sir. It's all your fault, Robert. You brought this on yourself. You know there is always consequences to any wrong actions a person has done. I just listened to Chloe's and my mother-in-law's advice about how to take you down. I knew you'd try and trick me into doing something today. I was trying to dodge it, but you wouldn't let up, so I just did my best to my ability, and that was to speak in fluent Mandarin to your executives and say how crappy of a boss you are.
But I had no idea that this had been planned for such a long time. This is an outrage. Please, Jaden, we're both men. You know how I feel right now, yeah? Just think about how Chloe will react to what's going to happen to me. Just come over to my side and help me out, would ya?
I've thought about Chloe throughout this whole process. I'm standing by my mother-in-law. I'll also stand with the vice president. For the sake of the company and its reputation, since you've left it in tatters, you scumbag boss.
What? You're just going to stand there and watch me fall? You're just going to betray me?
You're the one who looked down on me as a high school dropout. You never approved of me marrying Chloe, right? I'm so glad that I don't have to deal with so many relatives now. It's a blessing in disguise. So, go ahead and struggle, being in solitude. You've got no one to turn to now, Robert. It's your own fault that you got into this mess. I guess you can't really help the situation and how it unfolds, right? A board meeting was held soon after the wedding celebrations were over. Robert's resignation was unanimously decided by the board, and he was kicked out of the company building. Not only was he embarrassed at the wedding, but it seems like his life was officially over after all the scandals that came out. Jaden was later then recognized for his efforts by the vice president. He just kept on working his way up the corporate ladder. He's definitely not going to end up like his scumbag father-in-law. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to see more content like this.
Ren, what the hell do you think you're doing?
Huh? What, Mom? Why are you asking something like that out of nowhere?
I want to know what you're doing. I just saw you walking out in front of the subway station a second ago. That was you, right? What do you think you're doing walking around like that in public?
I guess that was me because I was just walking near there. So you happened to see me then? And question why I'd be walking around?
I sure as hell did see you. Tell me what the hell is going on, right now. To what extent are you going to keep acting all reserved and careless about things when you look like that?
Huh?
It's been 5 years since the last time I saw you in person, and there has not been a single thing about you that's changed. Your sister happens to be a model, and is making it big in that business. So why are you so simple and not doing anything fun with your life? Were you really born from the same parents as her?
I don't think that's something the person that literally gave birth to me should be asking.
Not only is your face not as cute as hers, but I tried so hard for so long to make you the cute little girl I always wanted you to be. And this is how I'm repaid? You never once listened to the things I said you should be doing.
Well, the reason I never turned out like Jessica is probably due to the fact that I don't care for makeup or dressing in fancy clothing.
And I'm telling you right now that that's not a good thing. Please, just become a little bit more like your big sister. I mean, she's been on live television multiple times now, unlike you. If people begin to find out that she has such an uncool little sister like you, they might stop caring about her.
I don't feel like her and I have anything to do with one another, though.
Ugh, I've had enough of this. I don't even want to think of you as my little girl anymore. I knew long ago that after you graduated from school, I should have just cut ties with you completely.
Well, you did end up kicking me out of the house then, so that's pretty much the same thing, right?
Well, starting today, I'm going to never speak to you again. I never want an ugly woman like you in my sights ever again, and I mean that.
Sure thing. You didn't even have to tell me that because that was my plan from the start.
You really have not a single thing about you that makes you decent, you brat. And I'd better never see you walking around town in such a laid-back fashion again, either. It embarrasses me knowing that my disgrace of a daughter is out somewhere where everyone can see her.
What's gotten into you this time? You really have the worst personality out of anyone.
Thank you for going out for coffee with me today. I have to meet with someone relating to my job there later today, and I didn't want to just sit around on my own for a few hours waiting. So you being around to talk with me for a bit and have a cup was very kind of you.
No worries, Jessica. And thank you for paying for coffee for me.
Also, as for what Mom had told you today, you really don't have to worry about a word she said to you, all right? She just happens to be a toxic witch is all.
I totally understand that. And luckily for myself, I haven't been worried by anything she said.
Are you sure? If you really aren't upset by her, then that's good. But are you sure you're not taking everything she said personally and are hiding it from me? I don't want you to be dealing with all this on your own, okay?
I told you I'm fine. You're getting too worried over nothing. If anything, I think it's you between the two of us that's getting all worked up by what she said to me.
What?
Jessica, you've lived your whole life being cared for so dearly by Mom all the time, right? So when you see me being treated like I'm not even her daughter, that probably makes you uncomfortable.
It does, actually. I have always felt a bit unnerved by everything she does to you. But for the longest time, I haven't ever been able to do anything to help you when things like that start again.
You don't have to worry about it, though. You and I have been friends forever, so we didn't know how to deal with situations like this, so don't feel like I'm angered at you or anything over it. Also, when Dad was still around, he was there to make sure I had someone who cared for me.
That's true. Dad was such a great man. But I still can't forgive myself for never stepping in.
Do you not realize that I'm thankful for you? When I was kicked out of the house after high school, you allowed me to come to your house for a while. If it wasn't for you doing such a thing, I'd have been left to the streets.
Don't feel thankful for that. At the time, I hated living by myself anyway, so it was for my own selfish wants. And back then, Mom was paying for half my rent and for a lot of my things in the place. So I was blessed with the house I was allowed to live in. And also, once you moved in, you started to do all the chores and cooking for me. So I really can't have you thanking me for any of that.
Well, come on now. You were never going to clean your house or cook for yourself because you were too busy being a model. I'd thought that at the time, that if I didn't start to cook for you, then you might start to gorge yourself on fast food and ruin the body that's gotten you your career.
See? I should be thanking you for taking care of me back then. Honestly, I'm a terrible older sister to you.
Well, I'm totally fine with you being a terrible older sister, so you don't have to get all down about it. Now, how many more times are you going to have me calm you down like this? I hate seeing you sad about everything, so I do it on my own once. But you really need to get a hold of yourself out there.
You are right, though. I need to stop relying on you to make me feel better like this.
Understand that I'm not angry at you about anything right now, and that I'm thankful for having you as my older sister. Seriously. All right, that's the end of this conversation then.
All right. I'm sorry. Sorry about getting this way every time. I'll do my best to not get so worked up from now on. Thank you again, Ren.
Please take better care of yourself for me.
I'll try. See you again next week? I'm really looking forward to coming out with you to choose your wedding dress.
Now, I've already told you before that I'm going to choose my dress, all right?
No, you're not. I think I've told you before as well that you do not have a single sense in fashion. So if I let you choose a dress for yourself, it'll be a disaster. This is going to be for one of your biggest days in your life. So please let me be the one to choose your dress for you.
Dang it. I hate having to let my older sister pick out my dress for me. But then again, you are the model, so you have a far better idea of what's right for my body than even I do. Just make sure whatever you choose for me isn't too gaudy. See you next week.
See you soon. Hey, Ren, have you had a look at the picture I just sent you?
What? I just saw it. What is this? Are you planning to go to a funeral soon?
I know what's going on with you. You're going to be having a wedding here soon? I can't believe that my own daughter would try to keep her very own wedding a secret from her mother. And I'm sure you have no plans of inviting me to your wedding either. Well, don't worry, because I've been able to find out all the details regarding you and your upcoming wedding.
I guess I'm getting married soon. What does me getting married and having a wedding have to do with you and the funeral clothing you have there?
Well, I suppose it wouldn't be any fun leaving you here without telling you everything you should know about this. Oh, now, today is the day of your wedding, correct?
What?
Today, I'm planning on going to your wedding, and I'm going to be wearing these clothes to your wedding as if it were a funeral. Huh! And the reason why? Because a simple little brat like you would look a lot better having your mother dressed up for a funeral on your wedding day.
Wait. Hold on a second, Mom. My wedding isn't today, all right?
Yeah. I've already looked into all of it, so don't even bother trying to fool me now. Well, now that you know what you have to look forward to today, I hope you prepare yourself.
Hold it right there.
There are a lot more guests here than I was anticipating. It's quite amazing that someone like you would be able to fool this many people into coming to your wedding of all things.
You're lying, right? You really went there? Mom, I think it's best if you just turned around and went home right now. I'm not joking around.
I have no reason to be going home now after coming all the way out here. I can tell that the wedding will be getting started very soon here. I hope you're looking forward to seeing me when you get out on stage.
Mom, why are you still trying to harass me like this? I thought you already told me you cut ties with me, so I don't get why you're still trying so hard to be around me. Can't you just leave me be and go enjoy your own life?
The only reason I'm here to mess with you right now is because you never invited me. What the hell did you think you were doing when not inviting your own mother? Do you not feel any form of thanks for all the years I spent raising you?
You already told me that you wanted to cut ties with me, though. Why are you still going on about all of this when you don't even want me as your daughter? It's starting to become a headache for me trying to figure out how you really feel right now. Are you mentally okay?
Shut your little mouth. No matter how much I don't want you to be my daughter, you will still respect me as your mother and be punished for acting out of line. Now please, get yourself ready to really enjoy the wedding you're putting on for everyone. Of course I'll be waiting for you, and the clothing I found matched my feelings for you the best.
Why are you trying to do this to me? Seriously.
I find it very thoughtful of me, coming in this all-black dress for my plain daughter's wedding today. I'm sure you'll want the wedding cancelled once you see how everyone else reacts to seeing the bride's mom in funeral clothing.
I already had my wedding yesterday, though.
What?
My wedding was yesterday. Today you're at the wedding of some complete stranger.
You're lying to me, right? There's no way I got all the information wrong. I know for a fact that the person who told me the details of your wedding would never mess any of the details up.
Tell me, Mom, who is the one that told you about my wedding?
Who? I just heard about it through some rumors, is all.
Through rumors. So what the hell were you just talking about? You made it sound like you had some kind of important informant, you idiot. Well, anyway, my wedding is not today, Mom. I can give you all the evidence you need of that right now if you want.
No way. You weren't kidding. I have no idea who either of these people are that just walked out. If you knew that today wasn't your wedding, then tell me that sooner. I knew something was off here. All of these really good-looking guys here. Why would any of them ever go to a wedding for you, of all people?
Ugh, you really are such an imbecile. Well, have fun at the stranger's wedding. Bye-bye.
Wait a second. Hey, wait a second. Ren, you reply to me right now.
Come on. How many gosh dang times are you going to try calling me today? It's pretty freaking annoying. I'm tired from my wedding yesterday and would really like to relax. Can you just save all of your BS for another day?
Hey, please, come help me. For some reason, I felt a little bit of fear by being at this stranger's wedding, and now I know why. I'm trying to leave, but they're not letting me go home now. They are saying that I'm from another gang, and am trying to make a point at the wedding.
Oh, God, that's pretty scary, Mom. Well, I'm sure that they think that you were trying to harass the bride or groom in some way by showing up in all black for a funeral.
I want you to talk to them right now and tell them this was all a big mistake. If you don't, I'm not sure what's going to happen to me.
What's the situation like right now?
I ran and locked myself in the bathroom. But they keep banging on the door, asking me to let them in. They keep telling me they're going to all teach me a lesson, but I'm just an old and confused woman who got the dates wrong is all. I tried explaining that to some of the guests, but not a single one of them wanted to listen to me.
Well, that might have to do with them all thinking you came to the wedding dressed in black to try to harass someone. Ugh, all right. I'll go ahead and give the reception hall a call and see if I can explain what's happened to them.
Really? Thank you.
went ahead and had a talk with someone on the phone, and I think I cleared everything up for them. Of course, you're not going to be let off the hook easily, though. You went and ruined a very important wedding to someone after all.
That's what they're telling me now. They're telling me to pay half of the wedding costs right now.
Pretty kind of them to only be asking you for half, right? I was thinking having you pay for everything would have been correct punishment.
But I can't even pay for half the wedding, Ren. Would you please give me some money?
That's gonna be a no from me, Mom. Why should me, the one you were trying to harass today, give you any kind of money to help you out of your own mess? You should be happy I was kind enough to even call the wedding place and explain why you were ruining the wedding in the first place. But that's it from me now. You figure out how to pay them on your own.
What kind of heartless woman are you? This is why I call you such a plain and ugly woman all the time.
The only reason you've called me is that because you're a stupid witch. Well, that's it from me. You're really not getting any of my help now.
Wait a second. I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry. Hey, I'm really sorry, okay? Your own mother is apologizing to you now, right? Jessica? Hey, wake up.
What? Why are you calling me over and over like that? I'm really tired right now and I'm trying to sleep in. Can you just call me later today or something?
Do not start acting like your heartless sister to me now, too. Hey, can you please let me borrow some of your money?
What was that?
A few things have happened to me, and I'm in real need of some money. You're a model, after all, so you must have a lot of money on you, right? If you have $20,000 just sitting around, that'll be enough for me. So please, just give me that and I won't bother you anymore.
I just got a message from Ren explaining the whole situation to me. I see what's going on here now.
What? A message from Ren? Just now?
I can see now that you're going to try asking me for help.
Well, now you at least know what's happened to me, right? I'm sure you already know how much your little sister hates me and all that, but I know you'll be kind enough to help me, right? Right?
You really think I'd want to help you?
I sure do. After all, I've done everything and anything for you all your life to make sure you were happy. Unlike that little worthless brat, Ren, you are the cutest daughter imaginable. You also happen to have a wonderful job. I was the one that helped you get that job as a model as well, right? You are my pride.
I knew it, Mom. You're the worst.
Hey, I know that this time I may have taken things a little too far, all right? Ah, right. Can you please come to the reception hall right now?
Huh? Why should I go there?
Well, you're a famous celebrity, aren't you? If you come here right now, you'll make a lot of these people very happy, and I won't have to pay them anything in order to leave.
What? Are you really saying that?
If you could just give a few of them your signature and take a few photos with them, I'm sure they'll let me go. So please.
So you're going to use your own daughter to get you out of a sticky situation with some strangers that you chose to piss off? I'm a little lost for words here. You're rotten.
Why are you calling your own mother rotten? Do you not realize that it's because of me that you're even able to be a famous model right now? I was the one that sent your resume and everything to that agency and got you hired by them.
Even though I told you time and time again that I didn't want you doing that.
Because of that, you're very famous. So who cares?
And yeah, I guess I am a very famous model now, but I wouldn't say that it's all because of you. I was the one that had to work hard to become the woman I am. And you never did anything to teach me how to actually be a model. So don't act like I owe you anything for handing in my resume, because I don't. To be honest, I didn't even want to be a model in the first place. I was only 16 at the time, and what you did forced me to quit high school. I then had to go live on my own in New York, practicing for something I never wanted. I was forced into a life of no choices because of you, Mom. A life I never even wanted.
Is that so? Well, I never knew that you didn't want to become a model and move out to that agency.
I told you so many times that I didn't want to go, but you never once listened to me. You used the fact that I wouldn't stand up for myself to make me live the dream you probably wanted for yourself but could never have. I wanted to just run away from you both and live my own life, but I knew there was one person who was really cheering me on. And she was Ren.
I get it, all right? And we can go ahead and talk about all of that at a later time, okay? I think I may have made some mistakes back then. But right now, it's a bit of an emergency for me.
What do you mean it's an emergency for you? To both Ren and I, we view this as you getting what's been coming for you. I don't have any reason to help you out of that situation. Goodbye forever now.
You freaking backstabber! I went through all that trouble favoring you over your little sister. And for what?
And I have a few things to say about all of that as well, but I'm sure someone like you would never understand what I mean. I guess I'll try my best to explain things in the most simple way I can. I happen to really love Ren, and seeing you ignore her and toss her aside all my childhood so that you could only focus on me really hurt. To me, she is the only family I have left ever since Dad passed away, and I'm not going to side with you over her. I have no need for you in my life. Goodbye forever now.
Wait a sec. Hey! Ren, I have something to ask you, so please respond to me. I can see that you're reading all these texts, so you haven't blocked me yet, right? I have something very serious that I'd like to talk to you about. I've already been blocked by your sister, so I'm not able to get in touch with her anymore.
Go ahead. I was just thinking that today would be the perfect day to finally block you, so this will be your last chance to talk to me.
I was kicked out of the apartment building that I was living in. I wasn't able to pay for the rent there anymore. Look, after what happened at that stranger's wedding, I was forced to pay a lot of money that I haven't been able to make back.
And?
I know now that I have done a few bad things in the past as well, okay? I know that very well now. I will apologize to you in person the next time I see you. So please just help me out.
You've done a few bad things in the past as well? Oh, so that must mean you feel as though I've done some bad things in the past too, then.
No, that's not at all what I meant by that.
I know for a fact that you do feel as though I'm still in the wrong for everything. So you were kicked out of that apartment? Sucks to suck, doesn't it? Good luck with whatever you end up with next, okay?
What? Hey, hold on. Do you plan to just throw me away then?
Well, look, Mom. It's not like you're working a job or anything. And for the past few years, you've been relying on Jessica to help pay for your bills, right?
Well, that didn't have to do with me not having any of the money myself. All that time I had enough money left over from your father after he passed away.
What did you end up using all his money on then? Have you been gambling it all away?
No, I had to hire myself someone to help me start searching for where both you and your older sister are living. I have really been wanting for both you guys and I to become a family again.
I see. And even with a hired pro helping you out, you still couldn't find us. So over time, you kept dumping more and more money into the pro for nothing.
That's right. So, please, can you at the very least tell Jessica that I'm wanting to talk to her?
Huh? Why do you need to talk with her now?
Well, it turns out that the pro I hired happens to be a really big fan of Jessica and all. So I promised him that if he can help me find her, I'll let him get to know her better. He said if that's the case, then he'd void the rest of the money I owe him.
Unbelievable. So both you and that pro are just creepy and stupid? Also, why the hell do you need a pro to help you search for us? Just do it yourself.
Well, that pro I hired is actually stupid, and that's why I still haven't been able to find either of you.
You both are brain-dead idiots. Can't with you anymore. That's it. If you think you can just keep trying to rely on your daughters for money, then it's better you just forget about being our mom.
Wait, this isn't about only money. But you have to understand that I don't have anything anymore. I need some money at the very least from one of you.
Sorry, I'm not in the mood to help you out. And I sure never will be. Would you please stop trying to find either one of us? If you keep all of that up, someone might find out you're our actual mother, and that might make Jessica look bad. After that, my mom was somehow able to get herself into a really rundown apartment, but she needed to continue borrowing money in order to feed herself, only inching herself closer to hell. She'd gotten herself a part-time job and all, but uses the money she makes there to keep searching for Jessica. I'm not saying there are better ways she could be taking care of herself, but I will say that if she doesn't put some of that money into paying off her debts, she's going to have actual hell to pay. But of course, she really only seems to see us as walking banks and seems to think that she still has a chance of getting our money if she ever does end up finding us. By the way, I haven't actually blocked her number yet because I find it so much fun watching all the messages pour in from her asking for our help and updating me on her current disgraceful situation. But I'm sure that in time, as her debt continues to grow worse and worse, she'll come to realize that neither Jessica nor I care about her and that she's going to have bigger problems that she needs to worry about. Of course, that's only if she has the brains to realize what kind of trouble she's really getting into with all that debt. A few years later, my older sister ended up retiring from her career as being a model. She did so with the goal of being able to go out and do all the things she wants now, which will probably include her going overseas for a while. I haven't really spoken to her much lately, but that's just because she has a life of her own for once now, and someday I look forward to her dropping by my place again so that I can learn all about the things she's been up to. When it comes to my mom, neither Jessica or I have heard very much about her besides the fact that her last known location was at her apartment after being fired from her part-time job. I'd assumed that those that she was indebted to ended up losing their patience on her, started making their moves on her, leading to her being removed from everyone's daily life. She never did end up finding Jessica or myself either, and her last text to me was a year ago, letting me know that there was someone following her home a lot of the time. As for myself, I'm going to have my first baby this year, and will now have a family of 3. I'm sure compared to my sister, my life and everything is just really plain and simple, but I happen to like having my simple family around me every day, making me a proud and happy mother and wife, and no person is ever going to make me feel bad about that.